Welcome to the talk show, Lighting the Educational Flame, with your host, Mark Hoberman. The goal of this show is to provide a learning experience to people of all ages, with guests from various fields and academics, a wide range of industries, and insight into the many forms of art, athletics, and entertainment. We hope you enjoy the show. Today's guest is bodybuilder, personal trainer, and CEO of Beverly Hills Concierge, Mike Torchia. Mike will speak about his passion for good health and how he helps motivate others to get in the best shape of their lives.
Hello and welcome to the talk show, Lighting the Educational Flame, brought to you by Great Success Education. I'm your host, Mark Hoberman. Today, our guest is bodybuilder, personal trainer, child health advocate, and CEO of Beverly Hills Concierge.com, Mike Torchia. Mike, welcome to Lighting the Educational Flame.
Thank you, Mark. Great to be here.
So nice to have you. Mike, many children want to grow up looking like Superman, being Superman, but your journey as a young boy didn't start off so super. Can you tell us a little bit about young Michael?
You know, it's so funny you touched on that because I was an obese child. I was what they clinically consider obese because I was 51 pounds overweight at 14 years old. And the nurse at my school had my mother come in because she said, your son is unhealthy. If you don't do something about it, he's actually going to potentially have a heart attack, a stroke, or something like diabetes and so on. At a very young age, they could see that was forecasting if I continue to maintain an unhealthy weight and condition. I did love watching Superman. I used to watch all those cartoons, and I wanted to be like a superhero. Right. But I would pinch my waist, I'd look at my saggy pecs and say to myself, oh, I'll never be that. But I dreamt that I could be that way someday. And what I did was I eventually sought out help. And it was my mother who was the one that really changed my life. And after that, after her giving me some positive reinforcement, continually supporting me and other people around me, I started seeing results. But it all started as being an unhealthy, unhappy young man that wanted to have a superhero body, feel like a superhero, but didn't know how to do it. That's where the journey began.
Interesting, because I have to tell you that kudos to that nurse, because that's not an easy conversation to have. And you don't know how some parents are going to react to that kind of information. So, of course, your mother took the ball and ran with it. It's great you had that support system. So then a couple of years go by, and 14 to 19, not such a big span, but life changes drastically for you. You start competing as a teenager. What was a typical week? What did a typical week look like for you when you were competing?
You know, when I first went into the YMCA in White Plains, New York, it was like a dungeon. In those days, women weren't allowed into the gym. It was mainly power lifters, Olympic lifters, and a few handful of bodybuilders. And I just remember going to that YMCA and my mother taking her money that was saved in a shoebox because she was saving up for new shoes. And she had $40. And she said, why don't I use my shoe money and I'll get you this membership. I hear they have a weightlifting program. Maybe you can build up your body. So I went down into the gym and my mother went shopping, A&P. That was the market in those days in New York. And she said, I'll be gone for an hour. I'll come back and pick you up. So I go down there and I see all these monstrous men. And I was like, wow. I saw this guy with the biggest arms. So I went up to him and said, excuse me, sir. I said, is that a good exercise to build arms? So I saw him doing these barbell curls. And he turns to me and says, beat it, kid. Can't you see I'm busy? So now I'm sitting there slumped over, going, oh, geez. I guess I'll just wait till the hour goes by and show up in front and tell my mom I had a great workout because I didn't have the heart to tell her. I didn't do anything. All of a sudden, this big guy comes over, really well-built guy too. And he said, hey, kid, you want to build big muscles? I said, yeah. He goes, heck with that guy. Follow me. And he showed me a whole workout. And then at the very end, he said, there's one big problem. If you want to build a strong, healthy body, you need to stop being a human garbage pail. And he poked me into the stomach. He says, you are what you eat. And he said, I want you to take this homework and come back to me. And the homework was to go and take a plastic bucket, like your mom uses to mop the floor, does, and put a little bit of every meal you have, every type of food you put in your body for one day. The next time you come back here, which will be Wednesday because it was a Monday, I want you to report back to me what it looked like. And then I'll talk to you about how to do a meal plan. So sure enough, every meal, breakfast, I put the bacon and I put the pancakes and the syrup and the chocolate milk. And at lunch, I put the Twinkies and the meatball wedge, another set of Twinkies. And then I had raviolis and soda and some other food that was fattening. And then I put it in a bucket. And my father turns to me and goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "The coach told me I got to do this homework. I got to put a little bit of food that I eat every day. He goes, pick up the pail and put it outside. Because if the dog eats it, he's going to roll over and die." And I'll tell you something that never left my head.
Yeah.
Because when my father said that to me, the coach said it to me, I realized the journey is you got to eat healthy, you got to think healthy, you got to exercise regularly. So when I went back to the why, he said, yes, you're a human garbage pail. Now this is what you eat. He went over the vegetables and the fruits, the meat, fish, chicken, eggs, and so on. Portion control, 3 meals a day. If you have a snack, let it be fruit or nuts, things that add value to your body. So my typical day to this day is exactly what I was told when I was 14 years old. I still follow it. There's no secret workout routine. There's no special secret diet. It's sensible eating, sensible training, and sensible way of living your life, because stress can affect your metabolism. And how you're not able to sleep, where that's when you grow, is when you're resting. Not when you're lifting the weights, you're breaking down the cell walls. It's when you're resting and you provide your body the proper nutrients to rebuild the body and make it firm and lean.
Well, you bring up so many points. One, of course, selfishly, my favorite is that you mentioned A&P in places. Well, I was born and lived for 16 years, 9 minutes from where you worked out in Westchester County. So that's always great to hear. A lot of people don't realize that the science behind good health. It's not just exercise. It's not just healthy eating. It's all these things put together. And I think I would argue, and I've heard this so many times, and I've had personal trainers, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a way of life. It's a change of life. And I know you went from being very overweight to competing and winning competitions. And that takes a lot of self-motivation. So as a person I've joined many gyms in my life. I still work out 3 days a week to this day. But I have to be honest with you, I hate it before I do it. I hate it while I'm doing it. And when I'm done, I'm so glad I did it and it was a good thing. But that motivation is so tough. The numbers of people, you go in a gym and you're like, how many members do you have? Oh, we have 2,000 members. And you go up to work out and there's 8 people there. So, people aren't showing up and that's how they make their money. So when it comes to motivating people, I want to say it this way, not to be flippant or funny, but help, you are an expert. How can you make these people so motivated? Because unfortunately, the results you see from this kind of program is not overnight. Even when you feel like getting stronger, it might be in 2 weeks, but it's not in 2 hours and it's not in 2 days. It's a long-term commitment. It's worth its weight in gold. But how do you help people stay motivated?
Well, I used to, it's really great that you touch on this point, because this is the biggest problem today, is that people will go join the gym. Their intentions when they walk in that gym is to sign up, get onto a program, become healthy, lose the weight or build muscle or both. But the problem is the average person will come for 1 week and then they keep the membership for years. Mm-hmm. But they know that I can always go back. That's right. What they see in their head. But here's what the major problem is, because I've done extensive research over the many years,
sure,
is the fact that this is what happens with your mind. Now, years ago when we used to go to the gym, they thought that Sergeant, that boot camp workout, no pain, no gain was the way to train. Guess what? Even though you can go in the workout and they put you through a killer workout, I'm saying a trainer puts you through a really tough workout. 2 days later, you're going to feel incredibly sore, like someone ran you over with a truck. Every part of your body is so achy, you can't even sit down on a chair without being in pain. Well, you go, wow, that was good. Boy, when I go back to the gym, but in your head, subconsciously, it'll make you find reasons not to go because it associates exercise with discomfort. It's a fact. So then you're forming these bad neural pathways that says, hey, go to gym equals pain. So then you're not motivated. But now, when you have a trainer, reach you at the gym, inspires you, looks like a body that you would love to have, and you see this lean, fit, shapely man or woman, and give you encouragement. Hey, you got great shoulders now. You could really build up those arms too and those legs. You have all the potential, but you need to commit. And they put you through a sensible workout where the next day and the second day, yeah, it feels good. But you're not in, oh my God, I can't even wash my hair because I'm in pain. Because they're part of the problem with trainers that are not qualified and don't understand the human body and the brain. You want it to be where you stimulate the muscles, not to the point of such extreme fatigue. And when you have a beginner that comes in, you have to ease into it, just like a diet. You can't just tell someone, hey, grilled fish, steamed vegetables, and plain white rice or brown rice. Are you kidding me? It's like someone smoking and you have to wean them off the nicotine. You have to slowly pull the high sugar, high salt, high fat, bad fats out of the diet and gradually get you into eating healthy. Then you start noticing, I have less bloat. Wow, I feel better. I'm sleeping better. But your body now associates healthy eating, feeling good, sleeping better, exercise, looking better, feeling better. And now you will be so jacked to go to the gym because every time you go, you feel great. But if introduced improperly, you're going to associate it with discomfort. You're going to associate that diet food as not an enjoyable experience.
Well, words of wisdom, because I have to tell you that just the shift in words, the brain's a muscle too, and you really are able to change people's mindset and the brain and the way they think, because that's a major part of working out. I've seen some people at the gym, from one end of the spectrum to the other. Some people who are jacked, and I look and I say, when do they have time to get jacked? Because I've been here for an hour and they've worked out for 20 minutes and looked in the mirror for 40 minutes. So it's just a whole different way. And when you talk about no pain, no gain, I saw somebody at the gym once on the bicycle, and I guess technically you could say he was riding it, but the speed was so slow. I'm telling you, he was reading the newspaper and he had the best shirt on. It said, no pain, no pain. so talk about no pain, no gain, and no pain, no pain. Some people do that too. And these are the ones who credit cards are getting hit every month. But teaching is near and dear to my heart. I was a teacher for 33 years, and the show was called Lighting the Educational Flame. We have a different take on things. But, I know you were a personal trainer for years and you still are, but that's a shift from bodybuilder to personal trainer. I would argue teacher. You're just personal training teacher. What was the motivation behind your shift from bodybuilder, hey, I'm doing this for me, to personal trainer? Let me pay it forward and do it for them.
So I've created a company where I have my trainers that will travel with these high-profile people, but I stay more of like the health wellness coach that educates people here. And I do a lot of volunteer work. I work with the Boys and Girls Club of America. I do a mentoring program with them every quarter. We have thousands of young teens and tweens that come in. We talk about career paths and healthy lifestyle and so on, and how it affects both. Because when you take care of yourself, it has also an effect on your career path. Because when you feel good, you look good, you walk into a room, you have an interview, it does affect your ability to have a successful interview and get the job. So we show how being healthy and fit is also as essential as education, not something that you just focus on your education and totally don't do anything for your body. It's an equal balance. You have to study, you have to work hard, but you also have to do the same thing with your body. You have to take care of it, and it's an everyday job, not something you just do 3 times a week. It's a lifestyle. That's what we tell people. But what you're saying, to go back to the original thing, is people have to understand that when they walk into a gym, they have to make that decision. Is this trainer right for me? Because a lot of these people on Instagram and are down setting up the tripod and they're doing those pictures for Instagram, those people have already gotten the body. So it's not like they have to work hard. So they're just maintaining it. But also the gentleman that walks on the treadmill, no pain, no pain. Let me explain this situation. In the gym, I'm notorious. I walk through the cardio area before I begin my workout. And I tap on the machine. I go home. What? Well, you look like you're walking in the park. You're not elevating your heart. You're not breathing heavy. You're not perspiring. if you want to burn fat and you want to have the most efficient way to melt off fat, instead of doing it 45 minutes, I could show you how to do cardio for 12 minutes and burn more fat than you can in a whole month of doing cardio like that. You're not challenging the heart, not stimulating metabolism. You're wasting your time. If you could talk on the phone or read, you're not stimulating the body correctly. Go home. So it's now when I walk through the cardio, I see people picking up the pace because they go, here comes Mike.
Yes.
Because they know I'm right. And I'll tell you something, even when I come down, they're still going in and waving at me. Thank you. And I've had so many people come over to me and say, thank you. I lost so much weight. I didn't change my diet. I didn't change my weight training workout. All I did was shorten my cardio by a third. I just do it after my weight training because that's when you should be doing it, not before, which is the biggest mistake. I'll explain that in a minute. And they feel so vibrant because they're done. The blood is circulating. The lungs have opened up. And they go home with a really good desire to eat high protein foods and vegetables. They don't want to even touch anything that's high sugar and high fat because they feel their body is pure and clean. Because when you go through that euphoric feeling and the endorphins are flowing, you make better choices. So when I tell people do the cardio after weights, when you do weight resistant movement, whether it's bands or calisthenics or weights, machine or free weights, you stimulate anabolic hormones, which are muscle building hormones. When you do cardio, you secrete catabolic hormones to burn. So now, if you start doing the catabolic cardio first, and then you do the anabolic hormone secretion, when you do the anabolic, it stops the fat burn. It also uses up all your sugar, so you're not as effective. So now you reverse it. You do a light warm up with some light weights and then do the weight resistance catabolic. And you have a full secretion of anabolic hormones that build the body. Then you go and do your weights. Because after that, you're now in a higher level of fat burning. Because the first 20 minutes of exercise, you burn only sugar. After that, you burn 50% fat, 50% sugar. After 45 minutes, it's 75% fat and the rest 25 the sugar. So this way the ratio is different. So now when you go do the cardio, you're at a higher level of fat burn and you finish it off by loosening up the body because the cardio will loosen up the muscles that are tense. That's the proper sequence. Now, when I've shown that to people, not changing anything else, they said, Mike, I've lost 12 pounds. I've built my muscles are leaner, harder, and bigger. I didn't change my diet. You're a miracle man. I said, no, I'm just giving you common sense. He said, you were not taught correctly the sequence of when you walk into a gym. So now you say you go into a gym and you get a trainer that says, Mark, I'm going to help you get in great shape. And then he puts you in this proper sequence of training. He tells you the various things you can do to make better food choices. And then also about the rest, about staying away from toxins, because if you become toxic, it slows down your metabolism. You're going to achieve those results. You're not going to quit after a week or two. And you're going to keep your membership. And every time you walk into the gym, you can't wait to meet with your trainer because you know you're going to feel so wonderful when you leave the gym. And that's why I really, really make it clear to these people. I stopped training with these celebrities. It wasn't fulfilling. It was a high for a while. It was great. But when I see children smiling and tell me how much better they feel, or just an attorney that I trained many, many years ago, he goes, Mike, I walk into a room now. I go in front of the judge. I'm fierce like a tiger. I used to go in there, put on my suit, but I didn't have the same thing I have. It really improved my life at home, at work. That to me means more to me. Some movie stars saying I look great for my action film. That's just me. That's how I work. And that's why I'm doing this today. I want to pay it forward. I want to help stimulate thought and people can make their own choices. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. This is how I did it. If you want to follow my advice and use it, great.
Well, I think that's tremendous advice and so much information there. But it's. I would argue that it's not common sense. It's common sense to you, but it's not rocket science. You've done the studying, you've done the research, and you've come up with this, and it's worked for you and many others, and that's amazing. But I do want to turn and shift a little bit now? Because I know you're all about helping people, but now you are the CEO of Beverly Hills Concierge. And could you tell us a little bit about that business?
Well, as I started working with people, they were always telling me, hey, I need this, I need that. And especially because I work with a lot of the elite, I started saying to myself, wow, I could really help these people. So one of my high profile clients, because I do work with the Hotel Bel Air, the Waldorf Astoria, the Beverly Hills Hotel, and so on. And we have some of those powerful people in the world you never heard of, the richest people in the world. And they're always complaining, oh, I need this. Oh, well, I know somebody. So 32 years ago, I said, you know what, I'm going to start something. So I created the Beverly Hills Concierge Service. And I made the website, beverlyhillsconciergeservice.com. And I started adding things in there. So besides getting a trainer or getting, chiropractor or massage therapist, I started bringing in orthopedic surgeons. I started bringing in nutritionists, naturopath doctors. I started bringing in more lifestyle, whole medical team now I have, on-demand medical we have. And doctors all over the world, infectious disease doctors that I work with closely, especially with COVID now. So I made it a full spectrum lifestyle management company. Yes, it's for the elite, only because, it gives me the freedom to have the money I can to do things with families and underprivileged and so on. And also part of my money goes to charities that I have, selected charities. So it gives me the means to the end for my personal goals. But I find that these people love it because they go, Mike, you're a one-stop shop. If I need a dog walker, I need a hairstylist, I mean a manicurist, we call your team. I need a jet to go to in London, you've got it. Car service, security. So we made it where the same customers have other needs. So we have different sectors of the company, but it provides services that, what do you imagine? I had a client that was staying at the Waldorf Astoria. They had a meeting the next day on that Monday. It was a Sunday. We were into the restaurant and they bit into a salad where the salad had olives and they thought the olives was pitted. It wasn't. And he broke his front tooth. He was a very notable guest speaker. Now, this was 10 o'clock at night. I had a dentist there in 20 minutes, put in a cap, did a speech, and then he went and did the crown for his tooth. But who do you call to break a tooth on a Sunday night at 10 o'clock? We call Beverly Hills Concierge Service. We have eye doctors, chiropractors. We have all naturopath doctors 24/7, especially in Beverly Hills because we have a lot of the royal families right now. They're all in town. And they don't sleep. They stay up to like 4 a.m, talking to everybody on Skype, whatever, or WhatsApp. And they have needs. And people will pull their back or they need something at night. We take care of it. So we are a full lifestyle management company. But again, my team donates time to Boys and Girls Club of America, inner city kids. So I tell all my team members, when I call upon you, you must come and you must participate. Right. And that's my condition because you're making a great deal of money with my company. Yep. I need, when I say to give back for the charitable events, I need you to participate. And every single person is excited to go and do that. So that's how I give back because it takes a tremendous amount of time and effort to put this together because I have the finest doctors, I have the finest trainers, I have the finest massage therapists, the finest security teams in the world. So when people ask for something, they know it's top notch. So I put the same effort as I've done with my body and my health into creating a business that is just outstanding. And when I hear every day how great people feel, it's tremendous. And that's why, again, I do what I do. But I had to have this concierge service to be able to drive the machine that I need to help people. I remember this one time, this really rich client of mine, when I first started training people, he goes, what makes a plane fly? And I said, well, the fuel, pilot, there's no money. And that stuck in my head. And then I realized if I want to give back and I want to help these children and I want to help the everyday American, I need the money to be able to have the free time and put together people to go and do things. And that's, again, why the concierge service came into play, is because I want to fly my machine. I want to run my machine. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing things like this whoever is listening, I'd love the fact to help. And anything I need to do for you, Mark, if there's anything, you have an event I can participate in, or I can help talk, I mean, I'm there 100%.
Outstanding. Well, look, so many great things and so much great information, and even your company that's driven by a higher end client, as you said, does enable you to do these other things. Because at the end of the day, these things cost money. You have to fly to these locations. It might be inner city people who don't have a lot of money, but you're not, go like this and all of a sudden you're there. It takes travel, it takes experience, and it costs money. So the fact that you're able to do that and you still continue to pay it forward, I think is amazing. And the fact that you make people healthy, it's almost like a piano teacher who starts with somebody who doesn't know how to play a note, and then 4 years later they're playing songs, and I say, oh my God, that's really amazing. That kid played that song because you taught him. So the person's living a healthier life because you taught them and you trained them, and now you're paying it forward in so many other ways. So Mike, Torchia, I just have to thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your wisdom and your advice and paying it forward. I can't thank you enough. And to the viewers, I want to thank you all for watching Lighting the Educational Flame, and catch us on Monday nights at 9 p.m. EST on E360 TV, on Roku and Apple TV, also the Great Success YouTube channel. Mike, Torchia, the best. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Jim.
Thank you for watching Lighting the Educational Flame. To contact Mark Hoberman, email him at info@greatsuccess.com or visit him on social media through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Thank you for watching Lighting the Educational Flame.